The first race we're going to be covering is Europe versus Benelux. So, Nano, what you got for us for this race?
Yeah, man. Europe versus Benelux. So, as we all know, this was definitely one of those racing toxic. But
Oh,
this is
wow.
definitely one of those races that, everybody, was probably looking forward to, especially with so obviously when we were going over the teams and everything, we know that Europe was probably projected to be the Justice League team, right?
Yep.
Because they have Thralis, Romanja, Marco, Ferrari, Duff, rest in peace to the homie. And arguably the best player in Speedstorm, Mr. Maxi himself.
Yeah, it's definitely arguably because we still ain't done the solo tournament. Yeah.
Hey, man. You gonna have to give Maxi his flowers sooner or later, Caleb.
Hey, I'm just. I gave him his flowers. I showed him respect, but people saying number one. I think it was Crusher talking about. Oh, y'all don't want to see Maxi in a solo tournament. I said, speak for yourself, Playboy. Like for me, I want to go heads up. Won't you?
Hey, he was legit in the solo tournaments too, man. I witnessed it firsthand, man. No joke, bro. But
first of all, this man said they the Justice League. So what does that mean? Benelux is the Avengers.
I guess so, man. I guess so.
Damn, then what's Team USA? Are we the 7? Like,
nah, man. We don't worry. Listen, we in that top upper echelon too, man. We made it pretty far ourselves. So
nah, we're the Suicide Squad. Okay, we got it now.
Nah. If anything, I got you. You guys are the Justice League, but Team Europe, hear me out now.
Nah, the Able.
Team Europe is Darkseid and his crew, and then Benelux is Avengers.
Okay, I can see that.
But yeah, man, they Europe was projected to be the favorites for this tournament.
Nothing wrong with
from
that.
the beginning. Yeah, of course. And
because I think every team that was in the Final Four, apart from NA, has actually beaten Europe, and NA was actually close for one of the races as well, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yes. Actually, what? I'm not gonna lie. I don't even remember what happened when they went head to head. Was it close? I know they were close with Benelux.
Okay, that might be what I was thinking about then.
Okay. But yeah, man. Now we all know that when this back in the group stage, Europe or Benelux actually, when Benelux and Europe face, they were like undefeated. Like both teams are undefeated, so one of them had to take a L, and the team that ended up taking the L was Europe, and it went down to the last game. So, it's it was definitely like hard earned by Benelux, but it just goes to show that even Europe at their strongest with all of their members still ended up taking an L at some point. So it's it definitely goes to show that they got, even though Benelux got the L this time, Europe was coming back, bro. They was coming back for vengeance. And, unfortunately for Team Benelux, vengeance was returned, man. Team. Well, we don't have the scores. Well, we don't have the score for this particular match.
If I can remember off of just memory, I think Europe beat Benelux at least by like 60 points. But granted, the
Possibly.
reason why the what's it called, the discrepancy is that high is because in this stage we were actually doing more races, because in the groups we were doing 8 races, but at this part of the tournament I think it was 12 races. So that's why
Mhm.
like the points kind of add up a little bit.
Yeah, and from the start of the match, like, okay, so I felt like even though Benelux beat Europe, this match could still go either way, 50-50. And then I found out from the host himself that Nell would be busy around the time of the match. So he wouldn't be able to play, or if he was available, because he was away, there wouldn't be enough time for him to practice to get ready for a match of this magnitude. So when they played, Benelux was actually down one of their strongest players, and
Mm.
so I think their lineup was Cedric, May, uh, Hoodie, and Doobie. So you know, it's definitely not them at their best, but what can he do? Now, when they raced for this match, it was pretty hard from the get go for Benelux, man. Because after the first match, once Europe got the lead, they just held on to the lead, man. They just held on to the lead, and Europe kind of just ran away with it. So, you know,
Yeah, the thing about that is when you get a lead in the tournament, if you get like a 20-point lead, it's hard for a team to come back because all it takes is one sweep. If the other team isn't
Yep.
able to sweep again, then you're just nickel and diming the points. Like, oh, we got 1 point, but they're still 19 up. So I think
yep,
Europe got enough of a lead to where it didn't matter if like all the other races were close. They had already, did enough to where they could maintain their lead, and yeah, it was over from there.
yeah, and I do, and I told me and Sammy kind of talked about this in a previous video, but if you if you end up getting like, if you're behind, coming from behind is actually really difficult in a
Yep.
tournament like this with the type of talent you're racing up against, because you literally have to like get
Oh,
points to come back, bro. Like, you can't, if you're behind, you literally get like, if you get a draw in a match, that hurts you
Yeah.
because you're not, there's only finite matches. Like,
I mean,
oh,
granted,
you
it's
have to
safe
get
getting a
points.
draw, but if you don't get points that are in a positive light to get you inch by inch closer to dwindling that score down that you're behind, it takes a toll because, as you just said, if you're drawing too many times instead of getting a dub, at some point you're gonna come to like maybe 4 races left and be like, "Damn, I'm still down by 8."
so
Yep.
yeah, y'all keep it drawing. Yeah, and that kind of sucks. 'Cause even if your teammate, like let's say 2 of your teammates have the race of their life and they're winning, they get first and second. If you look at the score and the rest of your team got seventh and eighth, that's a draw. And it's like,
Yep.
damn, I did all that work and our team is still down. Like, dang. So,
Yeah. It could be pretty tough, man. It could be pretty tough.
it's that's the thing with the more races. Europe was bound to get a sweep in, and I think they got either a 3-person or 4-person sweep, and you know, it was kind of the
Yeah.
maxi what's it called, soft relish show, low key.
Yeah, man. And Romandra was putting in work too, man. I think their whole
Romagna
team
and
was going
Ferrari.
crazy. Yeah, their whole team was going crazy because it just seemed like um it just seemed like they were like outmatched this race. Like it just looked like Europe. Even though this team has like beaten Europe before,
It looked like they
you
was
know.
playing a whole different team this time around.
Yeah,
Here's the difference, though. When they beat Europe the first time, it was only 8 races, so it's less races,
That's true.
and so
that's true. But the thing is that by by the eighth race in the knockout round, everything was basically solidified. Like they were down a lot,
who
but
Europe?
no Benelux, but
Yeah.
in the knockout round by the eighth race, it was like damn near tied or like the points were really close. So, I just think this just happened to be, Europe was on their A game and Benelux, they weren't on theirs and they were missing one of their best players.
It's a tough time to miss one of your best players in a key race like this, because as we brought up in the first round of the knockout stages, France did not look the same because they were missing one of their best players as well.
Exactly. Exactly, bro.
And to miss one of your best players in a knockout round is detrimental because at that point it's like asking to lose. Whereas if you're missing your best
Hmm.
player in a group stage, that doesn't really matter as long as you guys qualify.
Exactly. And, if we're being honest, if we're being honest, because of the nature of the match and how it went, it's with it being as one sided as it was, it's not really too much detail to go into. But I will say, had Nalissi been there and if he was like more practice, I definitely think it would have been a closer
Hold on, was
match.
Nalissi not? Was that the race? Was Nalissi in that race? He
No, he
wasn't, right?
wasn't. Nah, that was
Yo, what
Doobie.
have we been talking about this whole time? Not just playing. Yo, that's the story of the match. That's the story of the match. That's actually the reason why Benelux didn't make it to the final is because Nalissi wasn't there. No offense to the person that was taking his place, but just how Maxi being on the team can make a 60-point difference for Team Europe. Nalissi not being there on the team, Benelux that week, I think might have been the difference maker and why the discrepancy in the points was so different.
Yeah, but
It's
I'm
kind of
not gonna
crazy to think
say
about.
Yeah,
I'm
but
not gonna
60
just
points, I don't
automatically.
think Nalissi can make up 60 like that.
Oh, but
That's a
Well,
lot of
Maxi
okay,
points,
can. I
man.
mean, you gotta. It's
okay.
the same
So
thing. It's the same. It's
here
the same
here
argument.
here's the
I think it
thing.
would have been
I
closer, and
think
also it would have been
yeah, I think it would
sweeps.
have.
Yeah,
I'd have been
closer, but
it would have
60
been
points
closer.
is a lot, man.
It is. I will say though that I'm not gonna say that if Nalissi was there, then Benelux would have automatically beat Europe
I
because
didn't
I
say
don't believe
automatic.
it.
I didn't
Well,
say
you
automatic.
said they would have made it to the finals if
I said the
Nalissi
reason
was
why they
there.
didn't, or like, because they would have had a chance. Like, it would have been close,
Oh, okay.
basically.
I'm just saying that the word that made it sound like they was definitely making it to the finals with Nalissi, but they definitely
Where
would
it's
have
like,
had a better chance.
because
I
you
think
get
it would have
blown
been a
out by
lot closer.
60,
Yeah.
it's like, when you get blown out by 60, it's like, okay, that person, they weren't going to make it to the final. 60 points. But when it's like, you only lose by 4, 5, 6, 7 points, it's like, yo, they could have made it. That's what I'm saying. It's like, if Nalissi was there,
Yeah,
it would have been like a 10-point game, would have been way more competitive than it ended up being.
And see, I
Because,
can agree with
Nalissi,
that. It would have been like
yeah,
maybe
I
an
agree
8-point
with
game,
that.
10-point game, but
Hmm.
I don't know if they
and
automatically get the win.
yeah, I wouldn't say
Hey
automatic,
man,
no, but it would have been 10
it
points
definitely
for
would have
whoever.
affected the game. Um,
Yeah. So they didn't have Nalissi, and so therefore they didn't have their strongest team available at the time. And then Europe took advantage with their strongest team, and then that's how you got kind of a sweep that you kind of saw.
yeah, which is pretty unfortunate, but it be like that sometimes, man.
Yeah.
Such is life, man. Such is life. But yeah, man, Team Europe. Yo, I want to say, man, congratulations to Team Europe
Yep.
with the W versus Benelux. Even if Nalissi wasn't there, they had a mission. They they had a vision. They're like, yo, man, this team, they beat us in a group stage. We want to get that run back.
Yep.
And they
They
did
they got their lick
in
back.
amazing fashion. But this is
It's get back season.
it definitely was, man. It definitely was. Europe was they had everything figured out, man. It just looked like Benelux. I don't want to say they weren't prepared because at this point in this stage, I feel like every team is trying to prepare. I just feel like Europe just basically outplayed them, overpowered them, had a better game plan, and they were just no.
Hey, game plan's part of it. But hey, players make a difference. And all respect to Benelux and everything. But let's keep it a buck. USA lost to Benelux, but if we had Nano playing, we would have won. I'm saying it now. The tournament is over.
It's
I'm
not.
saying it
It's not.
now.
It's not. We all know that for
Hey
sure.
man,
No,
I said the same thing during the recap.
no. The watcher from Marvel, he let me know on Earth 56, Nano was playing, and we beat him by 30 points. Okay,
Hey
but
man,
I'm just saying,
I
like,
personally asked Nano this question like twice. I even worded it differently to see if he'd catch on, and he gave me the same answer. Oh man, yeah, you never know, but at the same time, I don't know who's to say if I play we'll lose worse than we
Nano
lost the
can give
first
you the
time. I'm like,
answer.
what?
I'll give you my answer. You know what I'm saying? He gives the giving everybody benefit of the doubt type of
Listen,
answer.
man,
I'm
Yeah.
I
just
try
gonna
to be
keep it
politically
100.
correct, bro.
Yeah, he's a politically correct.
But it's not like I'm not telling the truth though. Like literally anything could
And
have
it's not like
happened.
I'm not telling the truth. You know what I'm saying? Like if you was playing, that was Dundee. That was Dundee.
Hey,
So
I will let it be known that at least at this point of the tournament, um, there was nobody on my roll that if I was in a match, I usually outscored them. So you never know, man. You might be on to something, Mr. Khalid Black Flash.
but I bring that up just to say, like, just to bring up the point that one player can make a huge difference in a
Most
team's
definitely.
outcome in a race. So Maxi not being
Yeah,
on the
bro.
team, they lost. Nalissi not being there for a week, they
They
lost.
lost.
Nano not being on
Hey,
Team
man.
USA for a week, we lost. So literally one player being subbed out on these teams made all of these teams lose. So
When you put it that way,
Yeah,
yeah, I can't argue with you.
yeah, man.
yeah.
But
But
hey,
yeah,
I mean, oh, go ahead.
So yeah, that's I think that's for me. That's my story of Europe and Benelux is they didn't have Nalissi, and that was the difference maker.
Yeah, I
So
mean, if that being said, though, shout outs to Benelux, man, because they still were fighting, bro. Like Europe is not an easy team to go against. So
Nope.
no,
I'm pretty sure even though the matches were like one sided, they were still like fighting their hearts out. So
yeah, and this isn't a diss to like any individual player on Benelux. So let's just say Benelux has the two best players on Speedstorm on their team. It's a team. It's a team tournament. And so as a team, Europe just kind of got the better of them as a team. Even though they had good players, there was some good races and good matches and some good battles. I think Europe overall as a team, they were locked in. They were locked in.
yeah, man. But still, congratulations on Team Europe for being locked and loaded.
Most
They
definitely.
advanced to the finals, so can't wait to see what happens with that match. And still, even though Benelux ended up taking the L, they're still not out of it. you know, they still play for third place, and you know, they still got to perform, man. They can't let this loss, you know, kind of take them out mentally. You know, they can't check out now. You know, they can still play for a higher spot, man. So,
Definitely.
you know, keep up the good work, Benelux.
Okay. So for the next race, we had USA versus NA. I guess it's a good thing that we got Caleb here. So since you guys both participated in this race, I'll let you guys start off.
Okay. Do you want to start off, Mr. Caleb?
Shoot. Okay. You're talking about this is North America, right?
Yep.
Yeah, dude, that was a good ass fucking match. We handled business. Here's the thing. I'll start it off. First of all, after the race, they ended up telling us, "Oh, I got a crow." They ended up telling us they did a lot of research on us. First of all, they were metagaming. They were doing their research. There were so many characters that I wanted to use for the tracks that they banned. They banned like Mowgli, Lilo. They had some good bans on us, and so. And I noticed that, but even so, we were definitely trying to pick the most optimized characters for that week, and it ended up paying off. Now I will say, okay, race one, this is actually the tail of the tape, and it also goes back to our last team that we were talking about. A team not having their star player can make a difference. On race number one, Falcon literally was having internet issues, and he was like, I think he was Gantu, no, Captain Gantu, and
Yeah,
all
he
of a
was
sudden you see him
Gansu.
in last, and it's like, yo, what's going on? He was having internet issues. So they had to sub him out. I think they subbed him out for Ishnik. Now Ishnik is a good player, and Ishnik actually did really well. But I think Falcon not being in the race for the rest of the series, I think made the difference. To where we were kind of able to, edge them out on the points. I just want, I'm gonna keep talking more about the matchup, but from race number one, Team North America was on the back foot because they didn't have Falcon. And if you guys don't know, Falcon is probably one of the best players in the game. So
Yeah, he Falcons up there, man.
it makes it. Mm-hmm.
He I, it's funny because like in terms of like, and they got a pretty good like team, bro. Like they got
In
Toxic
a
and Falcon. That's pretty crazy. That's me.
North America NA, they figured it out because in the beginning of the season, they had Toxic on, I think, Tricksters. I think they had KH on Defenders. I think they had Sonic on Speedsters. And I think, whatever.
Yep.
They switched it up and they put Toxic, who, you know, is a really good player. They put him on Defender. And oh my gosh, North America just like moved up in
Yeah,
the
they
power
leveled
rankings.
up, bro.
They
They
moved up in
leveled
the
up
power
because of
rankings.
that
So
shit.
we were scared a little bit because that means we had Toxic on Defender, we had
Hmm.
Falcon on Brawler, we had Sonic on Trickster, and we had KH on Speedster. That's a they could have made the finals low key,
They
but
Yep.
definitely could have, man.
they could have made
Definitely
the
could have.
finals. And I'll put it this way. Well, I don't know. Maybe I'll tell y'all later. But Falcon being out, man, that was a difference maker. I'm just saying this now. But yeah.
Hmm.
Also, what I remember from that match, it was hard to sweep. It was hard to sweep. Here's what we considered a sweep. It was a sweep, it was an unofficial sweep. We would get second, third, and fourth,
Yep. And
but
fifth.
first place and fifth, but first place was always toxic. Like 90% of the time, first place
Yep.
was toxic. It'd go toxic, one wing, Caleb, or toxic, Caleb, one wing, Nano, or whatever it was. Toxic was
Hmm.
holding it down on defenders, and he did his job for his team, what he was supposed to do. It was
He
actually
did.
really impressive.
You know what's so crazy? That's actually that actually is what helped, and they make it to that round because versus Brazil, they needed to sweep NA in order to get the W, and literally four of the top, like they literally almost swept NA, but Toxic got first place, and that's what stopped them
Yep.
from getting that W.
But you know
That
what
doesn't
too?
happen.
Sonic was also playing out of his mind as well
Yeah, Sonic was playing really good as Trickster. He was.
Against Brazil or Team USA.
against Team NA. I mean against Team USA, sorry.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
he was carrying
he
his
was
weight. I
he was pretty
remember.
good.
They was sabotaging me. They were trying to get their get back. Ooh,
Hmm.
speaking of get back, the tail. Here's the thing, right? I remember that match. You know, Sonic was doing a little too good, so I had to like get him off my team. You know what I mean? So I got I got a little strategy going on. I was Jafar too. Like, oh my goodness. Um,
Yeah, let
yeah,
him know. Let him know
I
the
call it.
strat, man.
You know what? I'm just gonna say it now. I'm just gonna say it now.
Go
I'll pull the
ahead, man.
McNougat strategy. And if y'all don't know what the McNougat strategy is, we all know who McNougat is. Good racer, good streamer. But he was kind of talking down on the tournament. He was talking down on the tournament, and he was saying that the fact that they don't have Ariel automatically banned is kind of like stupid, and that he could beat One Winged Angel, and he definitely could beat Caleb Black Flash. I'm like, ooh, and I took that personally. So I caught him online one day, and I was Jafar, and I think he was discussed. And I used my fire, and then I hit the brakes, and I used my fire again, hit the brakes. I like stunned it 8 times back to back to back. I was gatekeeping low key, and that happened one race, and then we got matched in another race, and then I was gatekeeping again. And you know what I mean? And he got mad and he sent me some messages, but it's all good now. We had a good laugh about it.
Oh no, I
But
fell off the track.
I used that strategy against North America with Sonic because I think we were on Toon Village and Sonic was kind of in the pack. It was toxic because what we don't want is toxic to get first and then Sonic to get second. Sonic
Yeah.
was up there. So Sonic was up there. I think he got hit, and I was like the fourth person on my team, but we were all in the pack. And I'm like, this is the moment where I got to get Sonic out the race. So I hit him with Jafar, hit the brakes
This was the Toon
again.
Village match, right? The
Yeah,
Toon
Toon
Village match.
Village, and it's hard to catch up. So I hit him again after I hit him the first time with the fire, and then he fell back, and then we got the 2, 3, 4, 5, and we gained the lead. And so
Yeah, man.
it was little
Sonic,
things,
he
strategies
wasn't
like that.
he wasn't feeling that, man. I know he was upset at you when you when you get kept on like that. Cause I rewatched the bomb, man. You hit him and then you hit the brakes just to hit him again, bro. That
Yep.
completely took him out the race.
It's like, hey, I know I'm not getting first place, so I might as well gatekeep. And I will say this: this is actually a thing that I did against Europe when we played against Europe, and it might have been the difference maker between us beating Europe the first time. Is because they were kind of catching up on us, and I was once again Jafar, and I used that McNugget strategy, and then I was able to hold back like 3 of Team Europe on Candy Kingdom. And
Yeah,
I think
Marco did say you were being pretty annoying in that match. So
hey,
that
if being
Jafar strat
annoying,
is pretty good.
yeah, hey, maybe divisions y'all can pick up game, but the Jafar paid off for Team USA in both matches, and it paid off against North America. So,
Yep.
whew, I'll I'll make some people mad, and we can shake hands and be cool afterwards. But in the match, I'm gonna be mean, and
Yeah,
so
man, you got
we had
to,
to do we had
man.
to do.
We did. But hey, and they was putting up a good fight, man, because they were prepared, bro. Like we've talked, NA is the homies, so we play them and talk with them a lot and stuff, and they know how prepared we are. So, and they got prepared, just like us, man. They said KH told me that him and Shenanigans, they were like spending hours like finding information on our team and looking through videos and going over data and stuff like that. And one on the second match when we were on short circuit, when I picked Angel for that map, uh Shy said something that was kind of interesting to me, man. She said I knew Nano was gonna go Angel, and I was like thinking to myself, How would you know that? Like, how would you know that racing? So, they definitely been doing their homework, bro. And hats off,
Hmm.
because they definitely, even though Falcon wasn't, was having internet complications, they still put up a good fight, man. And they is still a strong team. So, you know,
Hmm.
definitely kudos to them.
Honestly,
Um,
it was close the entire time. Like I was taking notes, and from race one, you guys had the slight lead up by two. It was 19-17. Or sorry,
mhm,
for race one, I should say. For race two, you guys built a lead. You guys put yourself ahead by 8. Then it was by race three, you guys are starting to pull ahead a little bit more and built a lead by 14. By race four, you guys had tied that, and I think NA started to like piece it together. But then in race five, Caleb turned up. So
Yes, sir.
you guys had a little sweep here, even though you guys didn't get the first place spot because obviously Toxic was always up there in the top 2 spots. So Toxic had first place, but you guys got 2, 3, 4, 5. And yes, we ain't forget Caleb. You know what I mean? I heard you in the I heard you in the video, Caleb. Don't worry, I got your back.
yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Sammy,
he's
see
like,
what
no,
happened?
he's like, no.
Yeah, don't
Yeah, I
forget me,
remember
Nano.
that.
Race
Hey
6,
man,
they came back and tied that. Sonic and Toxic were both turning up in this race. Like Sonic, see, Toxic for the most part was the lone runner here. Like he had to go up against Caleb sometimes. He had to go up against One Wing for the most part. But then when Sonic started pulling up in the top two spot with Toxic, it gave them more life. The problem was
Mhm.
by race 7, even though it was the same outcome with them two in the top 2 spots, their bottom 2 races weren't pulling in and getting any points because you guys were getting the 3, 4, 5, 6. So by race 8, you guys built another lead, and now you guys are up by 22. And literally by race 9, the series was over because you guys had by then a 32-point lead. And I literally have here in my notes, they need at least 2 sweeps to get back in it, to get back in a competitive race with you guys. And then I said, which is unlikely at this point. Which I mean, how are you going to get 2 sweeps against a strong team? And like you're in like pretty much like the atmosphere is like playing in the finals right now. It's not a finals match, but it could damn well be a finals match. So for you to get 2 sweeps, especially when there's only 3 races left, the odds are not in your favor. And the the 2 best racers out of this series were Toxic and One Wing. Toxic had 86 points total, and One Wing was 79. And I got here in the
I mean, they're
notes
both on defender. Who was third? Who was third?
third. I believe
Uh
that
huh.
was Caleb.
Oh, Caleb. Who was that? Nah, yeah, I was trying to hold it down, man. I was trying to hold it down. Cause
But
defender's gonna defend, you know what I mean? But I was like, you said I turned up on one of the matches. What happened? I forgot. What happened from the outside perspective? Cause I forgot what
Yeah,
race I
man,
was
let us
turning up
know,
on,
man.
man.
uh,
Hey, Caleb was putting in work, man. Caleb was putting
Caleb
in
was
work.
putting in a lot of work. But like I said, Sonic was also putting in work because in points you had about 63 and Sonic had 58. So Sonic was trying to match you how One Wing
Yeah.
was matching Toxic. The problem was Nano, and I forgot who your other teammate was. I think it was Hot Pockets, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he
But
was on
Yeah.
speedsters.
yeah, you Nano and Hot Pockets. The difference was the reason why you guys ended up winning the way you guys did was because Nano and Hot Pockets were just that much better than KH and Ishnik.
Shout out to Hot Pockets. Hot Pockets, here's the thing most people don't know. Hot Pockets actually competed for that speedster spot. And I'm gonna be honest with you, uh he damn near beat me. Um
Yeah,
and
that
I'll
shit
put
was
it this
close,
way.
man.
It was close. I was pulling out all of the jankiness with the autos like Mike and his doors. But if I didn't do that, Hot Pockets would have out competed me that week. So that's why he was on Speedster, and it showed because Hot Pockets was putting in work on the Speedster.
Yo, Hot
So
Pockets is low key like goaded, bro. Like it's funny because like in the beginning of the like tournament, like he was good, but like now he's like way better than when he started, bro. Because
We
like,
had to bully him in practice to put him on game, man.
hey, it's worked out because even there was a week when he even beat me on the trickster rolls. So
Okay.
hot pockets, man, can't sleep on the homie, bro. He's been putting in work, bro.
That race between you two guys was solid because the final score was 200-232. All right, y'all. So that was another recap for the second stage of the knockout rounds. And I appreciate y'all for tuning in. You already know we doing this with our best co-host, Nano, and
Yes,
obviously
sir.
our guest for this week, his teammate, the one, the only, Hokage Caleb.
Yes, sir. It's what's his name? Yeah, the first. But yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
Yeah,
It,
like
it was fun. It was fun. I'm glad y'all invited me
most
to the
definitely, man.
breakdown of the tournament. Yeah.
Yeah, as I said, it's a nice change of scenery, but also he'll be joining us in the next recap that we got following this one. So tune in for that. Peace.
Yes, sir.
Previously on this weekly recap.
Yo, what up? It's me. It is Caleb Black Flash. What's it called? The Speedster of Team USA. You know, I'm here. They invited me to the podcast. So, you know, I'm like, yeah, let's join.
Hey, that
Chop it
boy
up a little
said, "Hey,
bit.
what up? It's me." Like, came out the presence, man. He
Yeah.
came out the box.
Jumping out like a Disney Nickelodeon character.
Mr. Caleb Black Flash, man. How you doing,
In the
bro?
flesh. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. You know, I'm
Nice,
mixing it up a
man.
little bit. You know, Speedstorm is killing it. You know, some good content. I'm also on Black Myth Wukong a little bit, but I'm getting my gamer muscles worked out right now. But I'm
For
excited
sure,
to talk
man.
about the tournament. It was very fun. So I'm gonna give my perspective. You know, I'll keep it real.
Yes,
I'll keep it
sir.
real.
Thanks for watching. Please leave a like and subscribe. I'll see you at the next one.